What up everybody, Nerdish Geek here, and today I'm going to do my Metal Edge collection. Yes, these are all Metal Edge magazines, in case you're wondering. A stack of them. I don't know how many are here, I haven't really counted them, but they're in order, so let me try to flip them. I am not going to go through all of these, by the way. I am not... I would be sitting here for hours if I went through all of these. But I will highlight a couple, we'll pull a couple out and venture back into a time when music was good. Be very careful, I don't want to rip the bindings on these. Okay, so, how did I get these? Well, it's actually a really good story. I have a friend who her and I, well, former friend now, unfortunately, but her and I used to feel like we were meant to be friends because we shared this passion and love for heavy metal music and, 80s hair bands. And she was a fan of Skid Row. She's a huge Sebastian Bach fan, and of course I was a fan of Def Leppard. I use was like we aren't anymore. I am a fan of Def Leppard. She is a fan of Sebastian Bach. And so we would this common interest kind of, it solidified our friendship because there was, if there's one thing that I can tell you is that the 80s metalheads are extremely passionate people about their music. Any one of us that you come in contact with, okay, any one of us, if you walk up to me and you see that I'm wearing, like right now I'm wearing a Motley Crue t-shirt, see that? Motley Crue, haha. You see that I'm wearing a Motley Crue, you come up to me and you're like, Motley Crue rocks. There's automatically a connection there between me and that person because it's like, like we're family, in some way. And the music of that generation, it literally shaped a generation. I for so long, I grew up listening to, these metal bands, and I graduated from high school. I never had I never got arrested. I've never been in trouble with the law. I mean, people say, oh, well, rockers are, troublemakers. Well, no, we're really not. And I grew up in a time when, my parents didn't like the music I was listening to, but that was okay. They were going to accommodate. They didn't say, no, you're not allowed to listen to that. They didn't restrict me from listening to that. And I thank them for that. I really do. Because I was able to form my own identity and, like what I like because I like it. I didn't have to like it because everybody else liked it. I liked it because I liked it. It was what I wanted to listen to. And even today, as I sit here in 2013, with all this new music that's, running rampant, I can honestly tell you, I much prefer a Def Leppard album or a Motley Crue album or, a Poison album from back in the 80s than anything that has been released recently. Because I prefer that music. That's the music I love. And it's not that I'm not open to new music, because I listen to a lot of new stuff. I listen to, Nickelback, I listen to Collective Soul, I listen to, love the grunge era. I really do. Pearl Jam, I love Alice in Chains. I love, Marilyn Manson. I do listen to some new stuff that wasn't as popular back when I was growing up. But it's not my preferred. Somebody comes up to me and says, hey, you want to listen to Motley Crue Theater of Pain? Or do you want to listen to, Mechanical Animals by Marilyn Manson? I'm going to take Theater of Pain. Okay? I love Marilyn Manson, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to take Theater of Pain because it's a better album. The thing is like, a lot of people tend to go with what majority is. Like, I live in an area where I honestly don't think that you know, people here, at least the younger people here, have their own brains because everybody listens to the same crap. And they all listen to rap. Every single one of them. And it's like, it's rare, it's very rare that I hear a car going by blasting like Queen or Led Zeppelin or, you know, something from that era. And it's like, when it does happen, you're like, you know, and that's sad. It's so sad because, you know, people aren't looking at it as, oh, well, you know, let's see what was so great about that generation of music. Why don't we start, you know, why don't we listen to some of it? Why don't we listen to where our music came from? You know, like, my nephew the other day posted a video, Toy Soldiers from Eminem. And I went to YouTube and pulled up Martika, Toy Soldiers. And I posted it, and I said, in case you're wondering where that friggin' song came from. And it's funny because I will, like, be listening to some new song, and, you know, like, one of my friends will be like, yeah, this song rocks so hard. It's like, and it's a rap song, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I know where that came from. You know, and show them. So a lot of, you know, the stuff that people are listening to today does have some roots in what I listen to. And a lot of what what people are listening to today, I can trace back to a song that I've grown up with. And, you know, it's like, why don't you listen to where it came from? Why don't you respect and understand the artists that made it possible for that music to be there? You know? You know, we wouldn't have bands like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all of those, you know, boy bands without New Edition, without the New Kids on the Block, you know, and things like that. And we wouldn't have Eminem if it weren't for the Beastie Boys. And as sad as this may sound, Vanilla Ice. But, I mean, you know, the white rappers back in the day that were making a name. So people like Eminem could step up and do this. You know, I mean, the Beastie Boys fought hard. I mean, hard back in the 80s to be taken seriously. So, you know, it all has to start somewhere. And you can even trace that back even further. And you listen to the bands that I listen to and you ask them, hey, who is your, you know, who is your idols? Who do you listen to? You know, who do you listen to? Who do you look up to, you know? And we were talking about Pink Floyd, and, you know, Led Zeppelin, Kiss. Yeah, a lot of them look up to Kiss, AC/DC, the Rolling Stones, you know, bands like that. And it's like, when a band that you love says that, maybe you should listen to the bands that influence them. Because there's something there. Anyway, my little rant about people not taking music seriously. Anyway, so I have this crap ton of magazines. This is my oldest. This is 1987. It's in plastic because it's the oldest and it's 1987. And it's not sealed, obviously. I mean, I can take this out. I can show it to you. I can touch it. I can hold it. I can look at it. But this is what they all pretty much look like. There was a bit of an accident where some of the magazines on the inside of them came out because the staples, if you remember, these metal edge magazines were not held together only by 2 staples or 3 staples on the spine there, and the staples would come out, 3 staples, and the staples would eventually rust and break up, and they would come out, and so, you know, posters would fall out. But I do have all the posters that have fallen out of books. I was gonna go through these and just kind of show my friends that are big Def Leppard fans, you know, the Def Leppard that's in these books, which there is tons of Def Leppard in these books. And from what I was able to gather, a lot of John Bon Jovi. Like I just looked at a poster of John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora, yet at the beginning of the book, I'm like, the back cover is John Bon Jovi. So, there's a lot of John Bon Jovi in here. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. There's John looking all great. But in all of these books, if you go through the posters, you'll see a lot of John Bon Jovi. I don't think I have Bon Jovi. I think I have John Bon Jovi, and I have pictures of Richie Sambora. and like pictures of Richie with people and pictures of Richie with John, but I don't have like Bon Jovi. Out of this whole stack, like there is no posters of Bon Jovi. And I have books ranging from, like this one's 1987, I have 88 and 89, 90s, 91, 2000s, and no Bon Jovi, just John. So if that tells you anything. I don't know what this one has, if anything. Richie Sambora, John Bon Jovi, Def Leppard. Def Leppard is page 36. We'll go to 36. I don't know why that is. Like, I understand John Bon Jovi is really popular and all, but that's a whole band. So John Bon Jovi's new video cassette. What the hell? What they doing? After 10 million albums and hundreds of sold-out shows and over 15 months of solid touring, Bon Jovi did something. Here's the poster of Def Leppard in this book. Sorry. Nice. But yeah, they're all together and they're all in here, and I just a stack. I don't want to go through them all. I really don't. I mean, I can't. There, I could, but we would be here forever and a year. It just wouldn't be good. You guys would be like, oh my god, I'm so sick of this. Well, I would be like, oh my god, you know, geeking out. But here's another good one. Yeah, they actually made this into like a wall poster, a full-size wall poster. Remember that? I'll trivia there for you. But yeah, I mean, there's just tons and tons of awesome stuff. They have like the Def Leppard mailbag, which I thought was so hilarious because they asked, you know, how old the guys in Def Leppard were, and they were like, Joe Elliott was 28. 28. Like, if I could ever, you know, what? 28, like, I can't even comprehend that. But yeah, just stacks of Metal Edge. I have a lot of 90s and 91s, and I have, you know, like I said, a few 88s, the 87, a few 89s, and the 2000s, but if there's anything that, you know, if you're wondering if I have it, or if there's a poster that you're wondering if I have, just ask, you know, if you know what magazine it came out of, that would be a lot easier for me, because I'll just be able to, you know, go in and be like, nope, don't have it. I have that, though. But I at this point in time, I am not in, oh, I lied. One poster of Bon Jovi. But I'm not going to sell these. I'm not looking to trade these. I'm not looking to do anything with these, but put them back in the crate and put them away in the closet for safekeeping. Because I don't want anything to happen to them. So this was the Metal Edge portion of this. I'm actually going to do 2 more videos. I have some hit paraders and some circus and random magazines. So if you're interested in those, please do take a look. I will go through the hit paraders a little bit more in depth because I don't have as many of them. But yeah, as far as the Metal Edge goes, I have millions. Obviously, I have a stack here. And as much as I would love to sit here and thumb through each one of these books with you people, you wonderful, wonderful people, I just don't think that's possible. You guys would be bored out of your gourd in no time, listening to me talk about rock and roll. But, at any rate, it is fun, and they are awesome, and I really would, here, as a parting gift for my Def Leppard fan friends. One of the best posters ever of this group. Yes. So, leave a comment if there's one that you're wondering if I have it, and I'm going to do up a list, actually, and put it on my website of the years, the month and the years that I have. And, you can, take a look at that list. If you'd like to see anything in particular out of any of those books, or if you'd like to learn more, please send me an email, nerdishgeek1@gmail.com, or just, send me a comment, and I'll be happy to do that for you. I can go in there and, tell you what it is. I don't know if these are available anymore. I don't know if you could get a hold of the company that published these, which is, quickly before I go, I think it's Sterling. Yeah, a Sterling magazine, TV Picture Life, published monthly by Sterling Magazines Incorporated. So yeah, Sterling Magazine. I don't know if you can, order these anymore, but it would be great if you could, because I could complete a collection. Again, I don't know how much they're worth, but when I'm doing up my list, I will do cover price and retail price now. So that will be something cool to look at. Anyway, this was fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, rock on, my friends.